Martha, a 43-year-old woman, worked as a cleaner in a grand mansion owned by the CEO of a large textile company. Martha had been a cleaner since she was 25 and had worked for various homeowners over the years. In the mansion, she wasn't alone. There were 5 other cleaners, each responsible for different areas. For almost 3 years, Martha had been assigned to clean the CEO's bedroom and his children's rooms. In nearly 20 years of cleaning, Martha had never had any issues with her employers. She never took anything that wasn't given to her. As a single mother of 3, she worked tirelessly to provide for her family. Her eldest son had just graduated from high school, while her 2 younger sons were still in school. When her youngest was 4, Martha's husband was diagnosed with cancer. Despite their efforts, he passed away, leaving her to raise their children alone without much support from family or friends. Martha had no choice but to work hard every day to pay the bills and take care of her kids. One day, Martha arrived at the mansion like any other day, but something felt different. The CEO's wife seemed unusually cold and dismissive toward her. Concerned, Martha asked, "Ma'am, is everything all right?" "You'll find out soon enough," the CEO's wife replied, without explanation. Later, Martha noticed that all the rooms she was supposed to clean were locked. When she asked for the keys, she was denied. Puzzled, she turned to one of the other cleaners. "Do you know what's going on?" Martha asked. "I have no idea," the other cleaner replied. "But I did hear our boss's wife yelling on the phone earlier. We'll probably find out soon enough." "Do you think it has anything to do with me?" Martha asked, worried. "She can be dramatic sometimes." "Just give her time to calm down," the other cleaner reassured her. About an hour later, the CEO's wife gathered all the cleaners in the living room. "Good morning, ma'am," they greeted her. "Step forward, Martha," the CEO's wife commanded. Martha's heart pounded in her chest as she obeyed. "You all know that I treat everyone here like family," the CEO's wife began. "I believe in fairness and equal treatment. But one of you has made it clear that nothing I do is good enough." All the cleaners exchanged confused glances. "One of you has betrayed my trust. Martha here has decided to steal from me," she accused. "What? No, that's not true. I would never steal from you or anyone." Martha defended herself, shocked by the accusation. "Lies. If you didn't steal, then how did my 2 Rolex watches, worth more than $20,000 each, disappear from my drawer?" the CEO's wife shouted. "I swear, ma'am, I didn't take them." "I'm not a thief," Martha insisted. "You're the only cleaner with access to my room. Unless you're suggesting I stole them from myself?" the CEO's wife retorted angrily. "No, ma'am. I don't know what happened to the watches, but please, let me search the room." "I'll help you find them," Martha offered. "Oh, so you can steal more?" "That's never going to happen," the CEO's wife snapped. "You're lucky my husband didn't call the police." As she finished speaking, the CEO entered the room. "The rest of you can leave." "I want to talk to Martha alone," he said. Once the others left, the CEO addressed her, disappointment clear in his voice. "It's so sad to see someone like you steal from us after all these years." "Sir, please believe me." I didn't take those watches, Martha pleaded tearfully. I liked you, Martha, but I'm afraid you're fired. You have 1 hour to gather your things and leave, he said sternly. Please, sir. I've never stolen anything from you. Why would I start now? Martha said, her voice trembling. I've raised my 3 children on my own, and none of them are thieves because I didn't teach them to be. Maybe your wife misplaced the watches and accused me to cover it up. That's not possible, the CEO replied. Sir, this has happened before. Remember when your wife misplaced her ring? I found it under the bed. I can't count how many times I've found things she claimed were missing, Martha explained. The CEO's face softened. I didn't know that. I'll go check her room myself. A few minutes later, he returned, holding the missing watches. I found them in her sock drawer, he admitted, looking ashamed. I'm so sorry, Martha. I owe you an apology. I'll make it right and give you a raise for all the trouble. But before leaving, Martha hesitated and then spoke carefully. Sir, there's something else you need to know. I didn't want to say anything before, but I've seen some things that made me suspicious about your wife. I think she might be seeing someone behind your back. The CEO's face tensed. What do you mean? He asked quietly. She's been acting strange for a while now, sir. I've noticed she's often out at odd times, taking calls in secret. I just had a feeling something was wrong. After a moment of silence, the CEO sighed heavily. Martha, I don't want to believe this, but I can't ignore your suspicions. Would you be willing to help me find out the truth? Martha nodded. If you install cameras in the rooms where she spends most of her time, it might confirm your doubts. Reluctantly, the CEO agreed. Within days, discrete cameras were installed, and soon enough, the recordings confirmed what Martha had feared. The CEO's wife was having an affair. Devastated and enraged, the CEO confronted his wife, throwing her out of the mansion. You won't get a penny from me, he declared coldly as he kicked her out of their home. Without any financial support, the ex-wife of the CEO was forced to take a job as a waitress in a dingy, rundown diner. The luxurious life she once flaunted was now a distant memory. Every day she worked long hours in a cheap, smelly diner, serving food to people who hardly acknowledged her, a far cry from her former life of indulgence and privilege. Martha, on the other hand, continued to work in the mansion. Her honesty and loyalty not only saved her job, but solidified her position as a trusted confidant. The CEO made sure she was compensated generously, and the raise she had been promised continued, allowing her to improve her family's life. Martha often reflected on how one's integrity can shape their future, while dishonesty can lead to downfall, loyalty and truthfulness can lead to respect and prosperity.